do you really consider the Seton Hall regular season November win as one over Michigan one of the greatest wins of your?
No, I didn't say win. I said days of my life.
Day. Okay,
Of
that's even
audio.
more. Okay.
Days of mixing audio that I've actually done. Super Bowl 36, definitely number one. His first Patriots, that was insane.
For sure.
Doing pre, half, and post.
Right.
Amazing. This is two. Of actually working the actual event. Oh, easy.
It's a regular
Doesn't matter.
season.
I may never get that
game.
chance to mix those two teams ever again in my life. So it's two.
But what's so significant about those two teams?
Because it's my school against Michigan.
Right.
And it's a redemption type thing.
See, now we finally have drilled down to it.
We got a little
How
bit of
does it redeem?
It redeems it for me because I was like a witness to like basically getting cheated out of the win with the phantom foul.
Okay.
I mean, it was a phantom foul, which people will argue. They say even now. It's like 80. That was one of the most controversial plays in the Final
And
Four.
I say this with love and affection and all due respect.
But you won in the first time.
But I mean, in terms of greatest days
you guys are
of
four
my
in the country.
life,
We're not even ranked. We beat a number 14,
which is great.
He's just excited. He's just excited.
You should be excited, but to say
it was more for the mixing than the game itself, and I'll give you that. Because that was like
you give me that. You know what I'll take? I'll take 1989. It's what I'll take.
No, I'll give you.
But Rich, I think his point is that in 1989 you were just a student. You weren't working the game or anything. You know what I mean?
I understand that's a certain pride level,
and then it's cool.
No, I understand there's a certain pride level. I totally understand
it's like you're sitting there.
Professional pride. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
You know, back here on our show, and I'm talking to terrestrial radio. I'm talking to my guy Mike Del Tufo, who came in yesterday with a Seton Hall hat.
I was excited. It was amazing.
It's a great win for November 2021. Going into Ann Arbor. These kids are just starting the season. It's great. Like, you know, if we faced one another again in March, might be a totally different story. But you got us in November. The us being Michigan. I know I didn't suit up for them that night.
We're not going to play
But there's
you
no,
again.
like, honestly, it doesn't, it's, I don't know why this upsets me because I do have, like, it's not great to lose, but I do have the cushion of one of the greatest sports days of my life because I was a college kid.
Yeah, you were part of it. I mean, so was I.
The only drawback is I drew the short straw at the Michigan Daily, the student publication, the Michigan Daily. I drew the short straw out of all the assistant or associate sports editors that night to have to close the paper. Like I was in that was back in the day where there was an actual printing press in the basement of the Michigan Daily, and I had to proofread the copy and make sure when it came off of the printing press that, okay, now run the paper. Like that was my job. So I treated it seriously. I didn't get hammered, but I did, drink with my fraternity brothers watching the game. But as everybody ran to the center of campus to celebrate, I was a salmon swimming upstream going in the wrong direction to go close the paper. But it still was one of the greatest moments and runs of my entire sporting life because Michigan had a championship team and Bill Frieder said, I'm going to leave for Arizona State, and that was also 2 years after Arizona State had beaten Michigan and Bo in the Rose Bowl, which is still the greatest Michigan Rose Bowl loss ever because Ohio State said, let's go and get somebody who can beat Michigan. Let's get Arizona State's head coach, and that was John Cooper, who we beat like a drum. And I always try to let all of my Ohio State friends know that even though this is an unprecedented run that they're on, it's all cyclical. It won't last forever. Because that one, Michigan against John Cooper, felt like it would. I can't tell you. I can't tell you that then their assistant gets on there and they go on that run. They won 6 in a row in a tournament. Glenn Rice is incredible, but this November win for you because ranks up there in the same way that I've just described.
In the mixing world with the game on top of it, like Super Bowl 36 to me, I wasn't a Patriots fan. I wasn't a Rams fan then. But like now, at the same time,
You're mixing
did the
Super Bowl.
halftime.
You're mixing
U2 did the halftime. My favorite band. Yeah. It was the first Super Bowl that I'm in charge of the pregame, the halftime, and the postgame. It's one of those. That's yesterday was. I mean, the other last Tuesday night was like that for me. It was weird. It kind of felt like one of those moments where you're not going to get a chance. Like I don't get a lot of chances like that.
You guys are not going to chime in on this? You just gonna let me go
Brockman,
on
I think,
here?
agrees with me. It's like because he.
I
If
mean,
Mike
It seems
thinks
like
it-
a Seton Hall,
That's
Michigan
the thing.
thing,
Is like
so.
if as long as Mike thinks it's cool, it's cool. I don't know why you're trying to take
No,
away
but
what
I know
he
what Rich
feels
is
is
saying.
cool.
Rich is saying in the
I'm
game
not trying to
world,
take away that it's cool.
No, I get what Rich is
I
saying.
totally get it,
Rich
that
is
you're-
saying
that
we
you're-
beat him in November. It's no big deal.
yeah, and he comes in with a
March.
hat.
But
You
it's-
know, and you just look at his. Do you see his tweets and his Instagram?
Hey,
You're like, I got a text from him of him pointing to the final score
That was
on
a group thing. We were all on
Hey,
that.
I'm
Actually,
sorry about that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
so
I mean,
that's-
I can think that
I can handle
stuff
that.
is lame, but like,
Thank you, Brock.
But I'm saying the same
but
thing.
he's also like it makes him happy. I'm through like judging what makes other people happy.
Oh, really, Mister? Don't put a jersey with your you know, with your own.
Right.
You know,
Again, I can
don't
think-
customize a jersey. That's
I
what
can
that guy
think
is.
it's lame, but I'm not gonna like.
Make a whole like segment on a national
That's-
radio
Yeah,
TV show about it.
exactly.
Yeah, you won't do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, for me, it was big because I lived through the '89.
Right.
And
I'm
then
not,
last night,
I'm
but it
not
was
saying
kinda
why
never
it's
got-
not
it was-
big for you, but you cannot, when it comes down to it,
The game's
say
not
that
as
you
big as
use
me
the word
mixing.
redemption. It's not redemption. It's no redeeming.
Well, it is for me in a little way, because we
That
beat
one time-
we beat a top like 5 ranked team right now.
Okay.
That's a big win.
Now, I would say I could kind of understand it if you knocked Michigan out of the NCAA tournament. If the tournament gods, and of course, by that I mean those who sit in that room with their coffee breath and their BO and come up with the actual schedule and the brackets, right? To use, by the way, a midnight run phrase.
Yes.
You know, that if, you know, it turned out to be a Michigan versus Seton Hall matchup and you knocked us out of a tournament game, that would be
That would
even
be
in the
another
realm. That
NBA
would be in the realm of
That might go
redemption
to
because you
number
ended
one.
our season.
That might go to number
This
one.
has nothing to do with your mixing it. I'm
Yes, it
saying
does. I know what you're saying. I know
I'm
what you're saying.
removing that. You used the word redemption.
It is a little bit of redemption because that's what many people said. Because
And I'm
the
saying
last
to
time we
this-
played you guys,
and I-
we played you twice, we lost.
And I don't understand you, Chris. I'm going to draw you into this thing. It's like if
I
this
want
was
no part of this.
no, like honestly, like what if I had told you? What if I tell you, you know, if Michigan ever had if Syracuse had ever beaten Michigan in a big, you know, and final, right?
Yeah, we lost you guys in the Final Four in 2013.
Right. But had it been the other way around in the final game, and then we go into the Carrier Dome in November and beat you, and I start texting you photographs of me pointing to the final score, like, how would you, like, you'd be like, what's your
I have
malfunction?
a great
right?
example.
Yeah, I think you're a loser.
I have a great
That's what I'm
example.
saying.
I got a great example.
See, but when it's your team, now you're like, yeah, you're a loser. But not you. Your first
I got a
thought
great-
wouldn't be like, why are you raining on his
I got a
parade?
great example.
You'd be like,
Atlanta-
what's your malfunction?
Atlanta loses to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Sarah eats crow and like we lost.
Right, yeah.
All of a sudden, the Atlanta
Tonight?
beats the Patriots
Tonight.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, but Sarah knows it's not even in the same world.
You don't
like
in
it
football,
might
you
be in a
don't-
different universe.
But
Week
if you
11, a
beat the
Thursday night
team
game.
that beat
So
you,
what?
You just it takes you to.
Mike,
what?
Mike, you lost me on all your social media stuff when you started using divine intervention.
That's what I'm saying.
Like-
Come
like-
on.
supposed to mix
like
that game.
God
What I'm
had
saying.
like God had a plan.
I'm going to
mix the
sit
game.
here. I didn't address this yesterday because we were talking about stuff at the top of the show, like the Warriors winning or what have you. But I had to a day later bring this up because it's out of control. You know, it's out of control.
All that has to do with me mixing it. It has nothing to do with the game.
Mike, but it's not divine intervention.
It was because I wasn't going to mix the game, and I got asked to do it.
See,
And I
by
had
the way,
no idea. The producer said, "I want you in the chair for the game."
TJ, you're seeing this now. You're
I gotta be
sitting
honest,
on the
I
side.
checked out a few minutes ago.
No,
I'm not- I
don't
even know
say
what's
that
going
because I don't want you to give the listener or
I'm
viewer the same
joking.
thing. I'm all the way in on this thing.
But Mike,
because
God had nothing to do with you like working.
I knew.
very spiritual like that.
I knew if I got Del Tufo talking, you guys would realize that ultimately the absurdity of it.
No, I knew it was absurd. Immediately.
I didn't respond to that
Immediately.
photograph on the text.
No, I know. Neither. I mean,
I know we didn't send it to our
well, this
guys
is
at home
way
to pop it on
funnier
the
to
screen.
do
but
it on the show.
the game happened in 1989, so I don't really know where the.
I mean,
no one on these teams
I'll
is even alive.
I'll show it. Hear it on my phone. We can see if you can see. Can you see that?
32 years
Look at
later.
that. I was happy.
Like, I get this after the game. Like, and it's just like, all right, you beat us in November. Michigan, will that come to bite them between being a 1 and a 2 seed or 2 and a 3 seed? Or if Michigan has an off year, will that be the difference between 5 and 6? I don't think that's going to be the difference that puts them on a bubble even. Then if Michigan's so bad and the loss to Seton Hall at home puts them on the bubble and it bursts their season, then we could even say that's even in the remote realm like of what happened.
I was a happy guy.
There it is.
Look at that.
What was
Look, everybody.
What was the sound,
Focus.
Rich?
I'm so excited.
Rich, what was the sound?
Huh?
What was the sound?
Look at that. Hey, remember that?
Like, look at you.
You remember that time when Michigan went on a Cinderella run that they're still talking about? They could make a movie about. That was one of the greatest moments of anybody's sporting life. That roots for the maize and blue. Remember that time? Hey, and I got so screwed. I got so screwed on it. Hey, remember what? We beat you in November 2021.
I love the sign the guy was holding that said, "Enjoy your flight to Newark," because that's where Seton Hall plays. They literally, while you guys were ahead, they used that a lot. That was a good
great.
sign.
That's wonderful.
We enjoyed the win. Put that back up. I love that picture. Look at that. That's happiness.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.